Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.
The Marla and Dave radio experience begins in 3, 2, 1.
Now, if you're ready, we will begin.
Go. Welcome to the Marla and Dave radio show. This is reality radio with a couple that keeps it real. Current events, pop culture, music, relationships, fitness, the hot topics of the day. Marla and Dave Thomas. This is the Marla and Dave radio show. Real radio.
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show. Yeah.
I was almost right on it. And you know what it is? I think that we're rusty because for the last 2 weeks, due to our schedules, we've had to do some reruns, which is so... That was the one thing I never wanted to do.
Isn't it funny how Marla says, I think we're rusty. I was right on it. She messes up, and we're rusty.
It's the Marla and Dave show.
It's funny.
I don't understand why that's such a hard thing for you to understand.
So Marla's rusty. Come on, Rusty. How you doing today?
You know, Dave, I'm actually really good. It's always good to be back. Love it. We want to make sure that we acknowledge Jarvis, who probably doesn't want to be acknowledged because he's kind of like wall paint. He just, once he comes in, he's doing his job. Well,
I'm sorry, Jarvis.
I
apologize. I keep a standing apology on the table every time we come in, or at least when Marla comes in. So,
well, let me say this, though.
Know I feel for you.
Before we get going, if you were just on my live feed with Periscope, you saw what the whole discussion was. So when we got to the studio today, Tony Sweet said Jarvis got engaged. Jarvis then quickly responded with, I said, dude, is there somebody special? He quickly responded with, no, my Facebook was hacked. I'm like, likely excuse,
right? That's the excuse these days, you know?
Right? He's hiding someone, and he
throw
says it was
something up
hacking.
on Facebook, on social network that you don't like, and you just say, oh, I'm hacked.
Right. We'll talk about that, too.
No. I'm not going to call you back. It was a hack. It wasn't really me on that date last night. I was hacked.
Anyway, we're glad to be back. Let's hit my mood song. Let's jump right in. U-N-I-T-Y, that's a unity. U-N-I-T-Y.
That's a good one.
Who you calling a bitch?
What?
And now let me tell you, we have a great guest today. I hope that wasn't a precursor to the two of them could do some real damage if there's disrespect in the relationship. But we'll get to all that later.
But wait a minute, how come I just saw the
Shelisa?
Bessie Smith movie on HBO the other night, and
with Queen Latifah,
Miss UNITY
was nude,
was butt naked, and I was like,
You were all up on those Queen Latifah titties, though, weren't you? You didn't even turn away. You were all on it. That's how you know you've been married too long. It's getting good. Everything's been blocked out your life.
That's married a long time. Trust me when I say. Jarvis hit me with my mood song.
On TV, we got to stay tuned. 'Cause there's more to see. Unbreakable through the technical difficulties. Unbreakable.
That's my mood song. The guests that we have for the show today, that's how they hit me.
It's unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, they shoot back.
You know, Dave, I kind of don't like it when you start off the show with trumping me with the mood song. It feels bad to me.
You know, I think I'm on a roll today.
I
feel sorry for the doghouse when it comes around.
I thought I was profound. You're so done when the doghouse comes around. If you're watching the show right now,
you know, it might be the Starbucks.
Please don't leave, no matter what, before the doghouse, because when you hear my doghouse offense, Dave, I'm pretty sure this doghouse can get Dave eating bones for at least a month. That's all I'm saying.
For the record, I haven't been in the doghouse, I think maybe once the entire time we've been doing the show.
That's because you paid the fans to come on and vote for you. But anyway, big congratulations to our daughter, our youngest child, Lexi. Drew Alexis, which we've been told we can no longer call her Lexi in post-grad life. She's embracing her androgynous name as Drew is her professional name.
The funny thing about it, now that she's graduated, she thinks she's grown. She doesn't want to listen to us anymore. You know, we give her advice. She's like, yeah, okay, gotta go.
Literally. Well, that's okay. She'll be home tomorrow. And as a matter of fact, you'd want to tune in next week because we're going to open every parent who has the option to listen to the show needs to be here, especially if you have a child in high school or getting close to college, because we're going to discuss with her if an expensive college education is really worth it. What are the pros and cons of shelling out that kind of money? Because I almost
community college or
just,
private
affordable.
school.
Even trade school. What is it that you really want to do and getting focused? Because I think that we're throwing money at college now without the return. Because I came real close. I don't know if you know this, but I considered prostitution at the end to get her actually out.
That's funny, because I was considering pimping, so that would have worked out well. Anyway,
she graduated. It was a phenomenal weekend. It was the best Mother's Day gift I could ask for. Take 6.
I just got back from doing a few shows with the Manhattan Transfers. It's a show called The Summit. 2 vocal groups together at the top of their game. And funny thing, I was traveling home yesterday, and American Airlines has combined with U.S. Air, and it is now my least favorite airline. Used to be my favorite.
Oh, consumer slam.
I have multiple platinum, millions of miles on American Airlines.
Matter of fact, you have so much clout with American that they used to threaten to throw me off the plane at your command. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Thomas,
I'm not with her. Excuse me. She's looking me in the eye.
Oh, what can I get you, Mr. Thomas? Oh, and
flight attendant. She's looking at me again. Yeah, but man, I almost didn't make it home. They canceled my flight, and then every flight was oversold.
Oh,
that doesn't even make sense.
Such
from their hub in Philly, every flight oversold.
The perils of a worldwide traveler. Oh, you could have been home with our son, who slept in till 11 o'clock, wouldn't make a grocery list, didn't go get the groceries, and didn't clean up or take the trash out. Oh, you got stuck in the airport, Mr.
So
Thomas?
Philly wasn't so bad. Good thing. Good thing.
Hey, I started driving Uber, which people on Facebook have been following. I'm glad that our guests, Derek and Shelisa Williams, who are both in law enforcement, are here. And they're also married. So it's going to be a pretty powerful conversation, but I'm going to trouble them with the legal issue, Dave, that you threw at me in the car when the show gets going. You just stop it. Anyway, I've had some very interesting writers, and I'm going to find out now whether my choice not to deal with a particular writer could have actually landed me in the slammer. I don't think so, because I know what I'm doing. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Some of the experiences are interesting, but what's even more interesting,
we're going to really get into it, because I'm going to figure out if that plunging bus line neckline actually works for policemen like Derek. This is going to be good. This is going to be a good one.
Wouldn't that be the opposite? Wouldn't Shelisa? That would mean she'd have to let everybody go with a low rise.
Well, I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get some love. So, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, what else you got on the table?
The last thing is, I invited you guys all to join me on a fitness challenge, the Fitness Reboot. The Fitness Reboot is not gone, but I'm trying to see if we can get it up and going by June 1, because I want it to be a solid month where you guys can actually check in, and I want to do it right. And so we had some web delays, and so now I think we're up and ready to go. So stay tuned, and I'll give you the update as to when to join me on the reboot.
Well, we have a dynamic couple joining us on the show today, and they're more than just husband and wife. They have almost 26 years of marriage experience. They both are sworn to protect and serve in different branches of the greater LA law enforcement. When we come back from this break, we're looking forward to a transparent chat with Derek and Shelisa Williams.
Now, before we even go there, can we turn their mics on, please, Jarvis? Because
we're extending a little bit.
Well, no, we're not extending. I'm going to ask, is it Shelisa Montgomery? Are you still using your maiden name? Okay. No. Don't turn his mic on at all. Just hers. Well, because I
Are
saw
you claiming him?
I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I am going to reclaim it one day.
One day.
But at heart, I'm still in Montgomery.
Oh, okay. Well, when you carry a gun and handcuffs, I guess you can say what you want. Yeah, by the way, now that Shalisa's here, I'm going to hyphen McCraw. Take that.
Well, until you get a gun. All right. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're going to be right back with Shelisa and Derek.
You're listening to the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network. Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for MaD News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
I might have been a little slow on the intro, but you're just all discombobulated.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's madness.
What happens when the mics are turned down? Doesn't matter, Marla. I keep telling you that over
They
and
saw
over.
your mouth move, Dave.
No, they
Are
didn't.
you talking to the hearing impaired? Okay, let's get right to the mad news. For those of you, and for our guests who are just joining us, our news is broken into 3 stories. The first story is always called Sad But True. So our Sad But True news item today is coming to us from Romney, West Virginia. There was part of the erotic movie 50 Shades of Grey was shown to a high school classroom in West Virginia for a reward for doing good work.
Well, all I have to say to that,
they convinced their teacher to let them watch it as a reward for doing good work.
all I have to say to that, if my kids went to that school, someone has to get fired. At least a severe
They
reprimand.
got 10 minutes into the movie when another faculty member walked down the hall, happened to look into the window and see the movie playing, and came in and said, "You must be out of your monkey mind." And I don't know if that was the quote. That would have been my quote. You must be
Are
out
you
your
kidding
monkey
me?
ass mind.
Are you kidding
And
me? Which
so-
leads me to an "Are you kidding me?" But go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Are you kidding me?
All right, Mitt Romney versus Holyfield in a charity boxing match. Now that seems crazy on the surface, but you know, Holyfield was taking off his shirt and he has a little gut now.
He has a gut, but he's a boxer.
I can't believe people are taking this seriously anyway. My dad actually fought Joe Louis.
Okay, your dad hasn't been off the couch in like.
That's my point. That's
25
why.
years.
First of all, stop trying to dog my dad.
That was a tale. He
Stop
told you
trying
that.
to dog my dad. No, I was there. It was at Oakwood. Matter of fact, your mom was there too.
Oh, we should get my mom on the line. We should call my mom up. During one of the breaks, Jarvis, we're going to actually call my mom.
Your mom was walking around with the car between.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now we'll be fact checking. Now you're gonna say that to my mother. You're gonna say it right to her
Between
ear.
rounds, your mom was the man, was the car girl.
That's a good one. You're right? My mom could be a ring girl. Okay.
She could. She could
Right.
do it. She could do it.
Anyway, yes, Mitt Romney. They only went 2 rounds. But you know what I was thinking to
And they're
myself?
fake rounds anyway,
But
man.
here's what's
Come
funny
on.
though. You have to really trust that. Like nobody does this type of a challenge or charity match with Tyson because he's just a little off. He might just decide, you know what? I don't like Republicans. You know what? I don't like Republicans, and just punch you and knock you out and say it was charity. You have to really trust that somebody's gonna play charity boxing. Because if they don't, you're assed out. You're not a boxer. We don't carry guns. They do. We can't defend ourselves. What is that? Anyway.
I forgot to tell you I'm packing, but anyway.
Sure. That's what they all say.
Wow. Wow, on my own show.
Anyway, our last news item is entertainment, or not in this case.
It's not for me.
During our visit to Syracuse, while we were enjoying one of the most momentous and celebratory occasions of our lives, our daughter was at home wreaking real life havoc on the internet. So Moniece and Drew, Lil Fizz, from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Moniece launched in on a tirade by posting a private text message from Drew online. And the fight just went on till finally he had to respond. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it for the last time. I have a lot of feelings about this, but social network is just that. It's social network. Keep your drama off the internet. And for Moniece and Drew, and for anybody who's listening, you have got to get mature enough to think beyond your impulses and think about your son.
You remember when your parents used to tell you that nothing good happens on the street after
12.
midnight?
Oh, nothing's
Yeah.
open but legs.
The problem with
and
social
eggs. I
network
don't
is
know.
that you can just jump up there at 3:00 in the morning. Nothing's good gonna happen at 3:00 in the morning when you're
It's not
posting.
about when you post. It's about the fact that hiding behind the computer and not having to really face consequences gives people a false sense of say anything, do anything, lack of impulse control, if you ask me, for those people who have a tendency to go down that road. And I think the younger generation all kind of feel like that some kind of way. I think that you feel like you can garner support from the random things that people say online, but in reality, the effects in life, which is what I'm saying to the audience, especially that generation, they're real. What happens after that is real. So don't let that be something that you think is acceptable, because it just isn't. It's shameful and it's sad, and I'm mad about it.
But this has been the MaD News, and we're about to get back to the show.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
I'm going to remind you guys that the number to call us here at the show is 323-284-7826. To ask your questions of our guests today, Shelisa and Derek Williams, both law enforcement. How do you say? Officers. Yes, that's right.
They serve different branches.
I'm black, so I have a problem with
Couldn't even get it out.
Authority.
Officers, here they come. No,
It's stuck in my throat. And remember about Ask Marla and Dave. You can ask us anything you want. On the Ask Marla and Dave segment, we'll answer your question, right? And you can, you can ask us a question, and we will answer it on the air.
it's his tooth.
The
on
questions
side. You
should be
can't see
sent
it.
to
It sits on his tongue.
www.marlaanddave.com.
It happens. Words get stuck, looped around.
Okay, I'm going to wait for Marla. You know how your teacher used to have to wait?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to say that to the whole class?
No, I'm going to sit on my hands.
You're going to sit on your whole class? On your hands? Okay.
I'm going to sit on my hands. Go.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we're going to get straight to the show. Welcome, Derek and Shelisa Williams.
Woo! Welcome to the MaD House. Welcome to the MaD House. Man, before we go any further, we'd like to start by getting to know the couple, not the cops. So,
Sounds good to me.
so
Can we
you
get back to Queen Latifah's titties?
if you missed it,
Did
it's
you
gone
see it?
now.
No.
Oh man,
That's why I'm asking.
It's
I'm not gonna mess it up.
It's gone. You know, the two
I'm
of you
not
are
gonna ruin it
sad.
for
You
you.
know that there are better titties that you guys could just, Janet Jackson's popped out one time.
Did I
Why
say it
not?
was good or bad? I didn't qualify it one way or the other.
Anyway,
I said I'm not gonna comment.
Actually, I'm okay with them looking at those
Queen
tatas.
Latifah's
Yeah, I don't like that word.
Tata titties,
Yeah.
breast,
Breast.
the
Wait.
breast, her breast,
Her breast.
Well, we were.
So you don't like
so there's
titties, but you
clean
can say
toys.
tatas.
Yes, tatas.
Okay.
You like to? Oh, so you like little pet names?
Yes.
Like
pet
okay, pet names.
yes.
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
all right.
And they
Okay.
can look at those.
VJJ.
Really?
Not, or you prefer just vagina?
What can't we look
Vagina.
at? What can't Derek look at? I should say.
Derek can look at anything. I'm secure in who I am. So
Ooh, she carries a gun.
thank you very much. And I carry a gun.
There you go.
Derek, I'm not gonna get on you too much.
So-
man.
so how-
Because I got to go home tonight too.
I
So,
understand.
you know what I'm
The
saying?
things we have to do to survive.
You know what I mean?
Happy
you know
wife,
what I mean?
happy life.
There you go. So you guys, we mentioned at the start when we were introducing you guys or pitching to your introduction that you guys will be married 26 years.
Yes.
In
Yes.
the
July.
Okay. Wow.
Yep, she stole my youth.
She took your.
Yeah,
No, I don't
no.
think she stole anything. I think you walked in like this. Me, Derek.
I'm bringing my own handcuffs.
So tell us how you guys met.
You want my version or his version?
I want.
They're
basically-
different?
It's kind of, sort of, but she made the first move.
Yeah, that's how it
So,
happens these days.
What? That's our days. Don't try to link your story with their story. Let's hear their story because that's not what happened to you.
If it's similar, it's similar.
Okay, basically, we were friends. We met. We hung out. Just that. And then
How about I was the baddest thing you saw on the
she
base?
was okay. We were in the
Still,
military.
for the
in
record.
Oh, on the base. So you
Okay,
were in the
we were
military.
together,
Okay.
and I met her in the stairway, and I was like, "Wow, that's a good-looking girl." But you know,
Say
what?
that again.
It's a good-looking girl. I'm not gonna you're beautiful. So
I love it.
I'm no piece of wood myself. So so we met, and you know,
I'm not hard to look at myself.
I don't push. You know, so I saw her. We're friends. We hung out, mutual friends. It's all good. I left. I went to Korea. I came back, and
With 20 pounds of
well,
muscle.
I'm just saying this. When you look at the cartoons,
She said
and
20
when-
pounds.
when-
She sized him up by eye. 20 pounds of muscle.
good muscle.
Bulging.
But
He
she
came
looked
back
at me,
bulging.
she
In the
looked
right
at me
places.
like a big piece of pork chop, and she was just, her mouth was watering. I'm like, wow, I never knew Shelisa was so thirsty. So I played it like this. So she invites me over. We come over. She cooks, and she can cook.
Oh,
And
she throws down.
Smothered
Nice.
smothered steak, rice, Kool-Aid, German chocolate cake. And I'm like, this is very nice, and we're friends. I'm glad to know you, but I have things to do. I have to go.
Yeah.
So she walks me out to the car, and we walk out to the car. I'm like, all right, like I said, I got to go. And she threw one of these kisses on me. I'm like, is she trying to tell me something?
Now, was it
Girl,
more like,
25 years of marriage. I know what the real story is. You don't even need to talk. Don't even talk. We know the story.
And
He's still here.
that was it.
You were hooked.
That was it.
Got him.
So okay.
Got him.
So you that was your design that you why was he the one?
Well, when I first saw Derek, I was not attracted to him, although he had a great
She's from
personality.
Wisconsin. She don't know nothing. She don't know what's California good.
Now, were you guys here
Don't
in
talk
LA?
about Midwest
California?
folks now.
we
They'll
were-
call in.
We were in Victorville,
Okay.
at George Air Force Base.
Okay.
Yes. So Derek gained about 20 pounds of muscle when he returned from Korea. I was like, oh, wow.
I grew up on her.
he did. And yes, I did invite him. I called my dad and I said, I want to make a nice dinner for a nice young man that I like. And my dad told me how to make the dinner. And I made it. I invited Derek over.
Your
and
dad
yes.
told you what to make.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep,
So
I
that
called
was
my dad.
your dad's recipe was instrumental in you snagging the man.
Yes, absolutely true. So
Wow.
that part is true.
So Derek, when her dad met you, did he like you right away, or did he not like you? Or
They're
tell
from
me.
Wisconsin, so her dad came and her sister, who was older than her, came. And Dad was really cool. I was really nervous about meeting him, but her sister was just sitting across the living room from me, just glaring at me. I'm like, what is wrong with
Because
this
he's
girl?
from LA and they were afraid that he was the
The big city boy.
the
a
typical,
big
right.
city boy taking advantage of their sweet Midwest.
Dad was great.
girl.
He was easy to win over. Very nice guy. Had my first moonshine with him. He was
Nice.
easy. It was the
Nice.
brother. She has a bunch of brothers, and that was kind of nervous.
How many siblings altogether for you, Shelisa?
7.
How many of your siblings went into the armed services?
Just me.
And what about military?
Me.
What?
Armed services,
She's
military. I'm
different.
trying to get the.
And me.
Well, because sometimes it's in the family. Like when
okay.
you have all those siblings, what I'm saying is, and when Derek mentioned the sister kind of being a hard nut to crack, no pun intended, that I just thought to myself, maybe that this is kind of just this, very disciplined military type, historically military family, which is why I asked the question. Dave, are you actually getting involved with my personal
What I'm
interview?
saying is, you're saying like there's a difference between armed services and the military.
Well, I mean, this is domestic, like armed services, right? Yeah, no, I'm tripping. I'm sorry.
You got her.
She
We'll get-
probably
we'll
meant
get there.
law
I'm tripping.
enforcement.
Yeah,
Law
we'll get
enforcement.
there.
Law
We'll get
enforcement.
there.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're on the same
Anyway,
page. I
so
got you.
one of the things that we want to do is play a game with you guys to see how well you actually know each other after these 26 years.
Well, it's not 26 yet. Don't try to push them along. 25.
Well, once you pass
July.
25 in one day, you're now looking toward 26. So.
That's true.
That's
Well,
true.
I round up. I'm technically 50. It's okay. I'm good to say that. 47. I'm 50. It's all good.
I think you
When
just like you
I
hear me
agree.
say and other people say, "Oh, you don't look like you're 50."
That's probably true. I mean, the fact that you keep yourself together.
little fishing for a
If
compliment.
I had, it's not even a fish. If I had one eye, and all that, then I would be like,
Yes.
no, I'm not 50.
Girl, you hot.
I agree.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Shelisa, I want you to just slightly shift. Just turn you're gonna write this direction.
Yeah, so we don't
And
want
Derek,
you guys
you're
to
gonna
see
do
each
the
other's
other.
answers. We're
And
going to play a little game.
We're gonna play the newlywed game
Okay.
with Derek and Shelisa. So, the first question that we're gonna ask you is, where was your first date? Oh,
Oh, Derek's right on it.
your first official date.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding.
Dave, you're a musician. Okay, are we ready to write? Second question.
Now, this next question, forgive me and forgive Marla, really, because she came up with this question, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Okay, that's the way I roll, though. Where were you guys when you conceived your first child? Where did it happen? What the actual location?
I couldn't answer that myself.
Dave,
so.
you better zip it. You know exactly where.
I know where part of my anatomy was, but I don't know where we actually were.
Why are you laughing?
It's funny to me, that's all.
All right. Here's the final question. And this is, of course, vice versa. So, Shelisa, what would you say that your biggest pet peeve is about Derek and vice versa?
No.
No. Yes.
No, Shelisa needs to say what she thinks Derek's pet peeve about her is, and
right,
Derek
that's
needs
easy.
to do the opposite.
Right.
That's easy.
All right. Well, Derek, hand me
what-
that paper. He's done. All right.
What bugs you most about the other one?
Oh, I put what bugs me most.
I
about
can see
him,
why
and
he was
I put
laughing.
parentheses.
Yeah, that's what it is. What bugs you most about him?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay. But he's
I
gonna
can
have
see
to.
why he was laughing. These answers are pretty funny. So the first question was, where was your first date? What did Shelisa say?
Shalisa's answer is the cafe at my apartment.
Oh, George Air Force Base.
Oh, okay, GAF. Okay, initials GAFB, George Air Force Base at
what?
my apartment. It's George Air Force
Yeah.
Base. It's
Victorville.
But
GAFB.
what was it? The
My apartment.
No, I said cafe because it looked like it was
Okay.
initials. It was an
Okay.
acronym.
Okay,
first,
now
the first
now
date. Okay.
now Derek says it was a barbecue and he smashed.
Look, that was like the first real date thing.
I invited you over to the apartment. That's
we
the
talked
first
about
date.
that.
I
That
would,
was
I would like to
That's a date.
say, I would like to look dead into the camera and say if
I
Shalisa's
did not
father and
smash
sisters
on our first date. Let's get this straight right now.
are listening right now, please,
That
please,
was hilarious.
please forgive him.
Wait,
we talked about the date and we were friends, so it was like the friend zone. And
was
I
a
thought we
date
were in the
to
friend
me.
zone on that one.
wait,
and,
yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
So,
So,
I mean, you have
That was a
morals.
date to
you have
me.
morals and all that. That's good. But
wait
We
a
did
minute.
not smash on
Wait a
first
minute.
date.
Rocky is actually in the chat room and she says, Dave, stop it. Rocky, I didn't do that. He actually wrote that. He says, I smashed.
Rocky,
That's how he rolls.
Rocky, this
That's
is no
how your
setup.
brother
Rocky,
rolls.
this is your brother. What? Don't you? You didn't know that they smashed? No, anyway. Okay. So the next question is, where were you when you conceived your first child? What's Derek's answer?
Derek says, again, I can see why he was
Okay,
laughing.
let me say Shalisa's answer first, because I see Derek is about to be in timeout.
He's got jokes.
Rialto, Driftwood.
maybe.
And here's why Derek says maybe. He says, I don't know. I like sex. So it could have happened that day or the day before or the day after. I don't know.
Can you put something though?
Do you know exactly when?
We lived in Rialto,
I get
and
it.
our house was on Driftwood.
I get it. But
So
do you
odds
know?
are it was in that house.
Unless
But
there was a
what?
And
part.
yes, and it was a lot back then.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you either. I promise you.
Yeah. Yes. Where did we conceive Lexi?
That I do know.
Where?
Because, well, actually, I think it was on the floor of the closet.
That's exactly where we conceived Lexi, on the floor of the closet. That's why she's so smart. She's grounded.
I apologize, Lexi. I'm not responsible for what your mother says.
It was all love, girl.
All right, so the third question
We're
is,
gonna get this one right.
yeah. The third question is, what would the other say is their biggest pet peeve about you?
Right. So are we asking Derek what he thinks Shalisa's?
Yes, what
What do you
Shelisa
think she's
doesn't-
gonna say that she likes, that is her pet peeve about you? What you do?
I have irritable bowel syndrome.
When he drinks milk,
That is freaking hilarious.
See, is it right?
She said he farts and they stink.
okay. All right.
And
Wait-
she wrote down what she thinks he'll say.
She's perfect. There's nothing wrong with Shelisa.
That
Oh,
clearly,
I know he put something down.
and we know she didn't smash on the first date.
No, we
either.
did not. That was not the first date.
Anyway.
Although we did smash after the barbecue, but it wasn't the first date.
See?
And she told
She
me.
admits it.
Hey, and she told
He's
me to
covering
make
the
a
mic
stop.
like as if.
She told me to stop at the drugstore on the way. That's what I knew.
You pound it right there, man. Boom.
That wasn't the first date.
She admitted it.
That's
And
hilarious.
it's okay. You're married.
Okay.
She's perfect. She's nothing wrong with Shelisa.
What's the opposite?
No,
what
no.
asked
The
Shelisa?
question was
He answered right, but we don't know what he feels about her. What is her pet peeve?
no. The question was, what does Derek think Shalisa's gonna say about him?
Oh, and I wanted to know what Derek's pet peeve is about her.
me.
Right. She was supposed to say what she thinks he's gonna say.
I did put that in the parentheses.
Okay, so
She put it in
Marla
the
put it down.
parentheses.
So,
What do you think? What'd you put?
what do you think she's gonna say?
She spends too much damn money.
No, she said that your pet peeve would be that she's late.
Oh, that too. That too.
You're punctual and she's
Oh, I have to give her fake time.
Yeah.
Does that actually work?
in your marriage.
Yes, it does.
Because you know what I don't like? I think it's ridiculous for people to be driving around in their car and their clock is like 10 minutes fast. I'm like, but you know that.
I
Does that
know.
work?
Yes, it does.
Her clock on her side of the road.
It's
is
10 minutes fast.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Does that actually work?
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna be here for you
Wow.
because I want to know. What is it? Is it when there's something that's important?
No, Marla used to do the same thing.
Well, let me watch and show you what's about to happen right here. When you have to go to work, are you on time?
Yes.
When it matters, she's on time. But when
By seconds though, seconds.
But I'm still on time.
but she's there.
On time.
You don't got to get ready if you stay ready.
But I'm on time.
But yeah.
But social events, you know, we
yeah,
you
you should be
casually late.
When
we
can
don't have
you
to
be casual?
punctual.
Why
I
should
work
you
with a
have to
bunch
be-
of white people.
Wait a minute.
That's why.
We have a caller on the
I
line.
work with a bunch
We
of
got a
white
caller on the line.
Hold on, we got a caller.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
This is Raquel calling.
Hey,
Raquel,
Rocky,
hi,
what's
Raquel.
up?
Hey.
Your
I
brother
was actually
is smashing.
calling because the internet is intermittent. But Shelisa
Yes.
and Marla, I just wanted you to say, I did not know until today, Marla, that Shelisa is such a big tennis fan. So when I told her that you play tennis, she talked so much madness about how she was going to
nice.
thank you.
Nice.
I just wanted to make sure that it was on record. So I think there's a couples tennis match in order.
Oh,
well,
couples tennis
well,
match.
Derek only
Oh,
likes
yeah,
to hit balls at his wife, so I don't know if that's going to help.
Big balls.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure if anyone in the room can beat
I'm
me.
not sure
Rocky,
if the
so.
brand of tennis that your brother and his wife play are the brand of tennis we actually play the game. I don't know what is going to happen on this side of the table today.
And we're definitely going to have to keep him away from the barbecue. Because we know
Yeah.
what happens after that.
Yes.
We were going to invite them to a
farts.
barbecue, but now I don't even know.
Don't invite them.
I don't even. Where did they go? Oh my God, they're smashing. I knew it.
Don't invite him to a
Rock,
barbecue.
thanks for calling. And Jarvis just cut it right off. Jarvis, we have another
Raquel.
caller on the air though, don't we?
We got
All
another
right,
caller.
let's go.
Hi, caller. You're on with the on the Marla and Dave show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, this is Cheyenne from Rancho Cucamonga.
Hey,
Hi,
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
Hi.
Is Cheyenne your daughter?
The baby.
The baby. Baby, do you know where you were conceived? Would you like us to get that information from you?
I just wanted to invite them, and I have a question for my parents.
Okay.
Okay, how did you guys deal with having kids at a young age?
Ooh.
Very
a good
good question.
So how old were you when you guys had your first child together?
20.
So you were
so
20.
were we.
Yeah, they're our identical.
We're like
mirrored
twins.
twins.
Yes.
That's the
didn't
first
know
thing
that.
Rocky said when she met me. Oh my God, you're just like my brother and his
Yes.
wife. You have to meet them.
Well, Cheyenne,
Well, we're gonna find
we're
out.
going to find out what that answer is right quick.
Actually, it wasn't difficult. I didn't think it was difficult because when you're young, you have a lot of energy. So you interact with your kids a little bit, you know, on a different level
They
because.
still act the same.
And Derek acts like an old man, and I can still hang with my kids.
So there you go.
There you go.
So Cheyenne, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you we're gonna go to a break here, but I want you to hang on the line because I want to ask you a couple questions about your parents when we come back. Can you hang on?
Okay.
Cheyenne, right quick before we go, can your mom really play tennis?
Can she what?
Can your mom really play tennis?
Oh, yeah, she's legit. She could have went pro, but...
She could have
I
gone
guess she
pro.
goes,
Uh-oh.
Oh, we need a live streamer. We're
Thank
gonna
you
have
very
somebody
much.
video this.
Thank you very much.
Well, Cheyenne, hang on the line.
Hang on
We're
the
going to
line.
come
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, Cheyenne, you're going to have to call back in, as a matter of fact,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
after the break.
Call back.
Okay.
All right,
All right,
thanks. See you
thanks.
later.
Okay, bye.
We'll be right back.
Struggling to get the.
Okay, have you heard the one?
There we go.
Smash, really? On the first date?
Hey guys, listen up. Learn something. 20 marriage from two unique perspectives equals 52 years of relationship experience. It's time for Ask Marla and Dave. Answers to your questions about life, love, and relationship based on Marla and Dave's real life experience. It's about to get real. Ask Marla and Dave.
Okay, first of all, we want to apologize for any of the technical difficulties we've been having the last few minutes, but we're going to get right to Ask Marla and Dave.
I think I'll read this, Dave,
Okay.
since it's at you.
Okay.
Hey, Dave. Wait a minute. I think this is from a guy. Hey, Dave.
Is he country too? Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave. From all that I've seen, your wife is very outspoken and opinionated. From the outside looking in, she seems to be challenging but fun.
I think you wrote this about yourself.
I have always, not really.
Your wife is great, Dave.
Wait till you get to the end. I've always admired those traits in a woman, but recently I started dating someone whose personality seems to be similar. Now that I'm up close and personal, finding a day-to-day balance in our relationship is far more challenging than I imagined. I admire who she is and don't want her to change, but I'm looking for some tools to make our future all that I think it could be. Struggling. Help me out, brother.
Okay, well, that's a good question. I'm not sure that I fully get the question, but you're looking for some tools. First of all, you have to be self-confident.
How do you handle someone
because
who talks
someone
all the time?
who is very opinionated is going to, have a tendency to pull you one way or the other. You have to be rooted and grounded in your own self-confidence. That's number one. Number two, if you don't really want to change her, don't. Learn to love exactly who she is, and it'll be better for you. Because if she's as strong and opinionated as you say she is, as my wife, trying to change her will actually just hurt your feelings. Make you mad, make you break things. Matter of fact, a little anecdote. When Marla used to leave the house after an argument, just so the argument could end, I would have to kind of let it die down, but then I would be going crazy in the house or
I need
in the
some
car when I leave.
Blooper video of that. I want to see that, Dave.
Yeah, it's
what?
pretty crazy. Anyway, that's my advice for you, brother. Stay confident in yourself and let her be who she is. We'll be right back to the show.
Welcome back to the Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
All right, now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. When you're a law enforcement officer here in the city, I got to ask this one question.
Yeah.
You want to interrupt me first?
No, I just wanted to find out how they got into law enforcement as a couple. I think that's a very unique circumstance that would find you both as law enforcement officers.
Okay, that's
so
a good one.
you met in the military, and then how did you?
Did you get
progress?
married while you were in the military?
We were married in the military.
We actually eloped.
So did we. Yeah.
The enlistment was over, and as a man, I got to provide. So I was like, I saw this opportunity. I need a job. She didn't want me to do it. I was like, I'm struggling. I have to provide for the family. So I did it. A couple years later, then she was trying the housewife thing, and I was working graveyard, and she was dancing and partying too much. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, "You got to get a damn job."
That is a true story.
So
my brother came from Wisconsin to try out, California. So we're like 11 months apart, and Derek allowed me to be a stay-at-home wife, and so my brother was there, and we were playing quarters, like at 11 o'clock in the morning. Derek had just arrived home from work, and we were playing "You Down with OPP" and partying. And
I said, "Hey, I like the song, but you're going to work tomorrow."
Yes, he came. He stomped downstairs and said, "You are getting a job tomorrow."
I put my foot down.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta go to work."
I love
I said,
it.
"I don't care what you do, you're gonna do something." So she started off
Little part-time
payroll
jobs.
So did you have the baby at the time?
We had one.
Yes, we had Shay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So then I had little part-time jobs and became a payroll clerk for the sheriff's department.
Okay.
And then transitioned from the sheriff's department with the officers coming in to request certain things from, their payroll clerk, and thought they could boss me around.
So you needed a gun.
And when I did not submit, when I did not submit to their request, they were like, "Oh, you should be a deputy."
You came strong.
Yes,
Like,
of course, because
who you
of
think
my
you're talking to?
personality. That's
Well,
right.
first of all, she was already mad that somebody mandated that she couldn't play quarters anymore at 11. So that was a backlash of, he gonna tell me he told me to get a job.
But actually, Derek became a police officer prior to me becoming one, and I was
what I just said.
against it, but I was against it.
And he said that too.
I said that too.
They don't listen to us.
No,
Derek.
we don't. I don't, because you know what?
Don't listen to
It's
us.
really not important. What he
Yeah,
says
see?
is not important.
Yeah.
It's all about me.
Happy
You
wife,
know what?
Wife, happy
Happy
life.
I tell Marla all the time, we're both concerned about your needs.
You should be. Yes.
So you
So-
went on and you took that to heart, that advice, and then you
Yes.
went and
so,
sought
Yep. Went and
to be on
sought
the
it.
force,
And
to be active. in
absolutely
duty.
right.
But
And-
she sacrificed her career advancement for the kids.
Yeah, so I remained in, so basically for the sheriff's department, we began in custody. So I stayed in the jails until my kids became a little bit older. I chose graveyard so I could be there both for the kids and for this one here.
Now she's getting mad. I'm sorry to
I'm
bring this
mad.
up. I'm sorry to bring this up.
But
She's reliving it.
But typically you stay in custody for about maybe 4 years, and then you go to patrol and you advance from there. But I stayed approximately 10 years, and but it afforded me the opportunity to, you know, take the kids to school, volunteer in their classes, and then once
Cook
I
my
felt
dinner.
cook his dinners. And which I do very well.
Back
right?
that
Nice.
thing
See,
up.
he said
No,
he's-
keep going, Derek.
I do very well.
Oh, gotta go to work. Zip, zip.
And then once I, you know, well, with being a married couple and being in law enforcement, it can be, you know, somewhat dangerous with both of us being on patrol.
That's a question I was going to have. Who typically worries about the other one more
Well, she was
now?
in a protected. Well, now she's grown up and she comes to me for advice, and I have to let her grow and evolve. But I will say one thing, you know, law enforcement, you know, they like to debrief after work. You know, he'd be in a parking lot drinking beer or whatever. I did tell her, I said, look, if you're going to do this job, I didn't marry a woman that was going to wear a T-shirt in a parking lot drinking beer. You bring your little butt home after work. And so she did that. And
Yeah.
I
So
Wow.
so typically the guys.
You're a
Nice, I
submissive
like it.
cop?
Wow.
Yes, I'm a submissive wife, not a submissive
Wife.
cop.
Okay, I hear you.
Yes,
You admit to being a submissive wife?
I sure do. I go
Wow,
to church.
you will be
and
straight. You will be in
I-
heaven, Shelisa.
I
Please pray for Marla.
No. I struggle with it, but I do try.
That's
So-
hilarious.
No,
But I-
I'm
but
just
I do
joking.
try.
I'm joking. No, Marla's the same way. Now let me ask you. I was gonna say this. What is the difference between a sheriff and a police officer?
We're more badass. Thank you,
Okay.
Sheriff's Department.
George Creamer is with the sheriff's department, and he's on SWAT. He's a
No, I thought SWAT
well,
was.
he's a
We have SWAT county, city, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
If you saw the news recently, they were on horses beating people out in the desert. Police said we don't do that. We're in a city.
okay.
We
not
have.
said
We have.
that.
I just
he's on the
saying.
news.
That
He's
is
not.
not-
No opinion.
Yeah,
That's
think
true.
about it. I have not lied about anything we've talked about today. I've been very honest.
It has been coming to the light that Derek has been. You know, he said he smashed at the barbecue.
Okay, but
Shelisa had to
he's-
admit that.
It's his presentation. He's a little rough around the edges. That's all.
But as
But
men,
so-
we get straight to the point.
Just the
that's,
facts,
That's
man.
how we do it. Yeah. Now,
So it's county versus city.
Basically,
correct.
yes.
And
They have
so-
to do time in jails. We just go straight on the streets.
Yeah, so with the Sheriff's Department, we man the jails and patrol the courts and contract cities, and then also the cities that are within San Bernardino County.
Okay, so for example, Dave, in Calabasas, it's a sheriff who
That's
will
right.
actually give you a ticket and do all that. But
That's
in
right.
LA Unified, that's not the case. Like generally, like a sheriff is literally filing, like serving, doing other kinds. I haven't seen. I mean, I'm sure they can, but generally, I don't see that. I don't see a sheriff
They try.
pulling over a traffic stop on GP.
It depends on the city, because there's some contract cities I'm sure you guys have that the sheriffs patrol, and they
Like Winter Hills, Baldwin Hills.
right, and they
LA
perform
County.
just like a police officer.
Okay.
okay, now here's another question that I have. Being both African American, with all the issues that are going on with law enforcement and the racism that seems to be there, and also sort of the fraternal order of police as they kind of stick together and don't really seem to come out and bust each other and say that there's a bad cop or this wasn't right. They seem to really stick together.
Would you say that that's its own
Code?
family? Like, is that a family first type
I say this,
experience.
they're two families. We spend a lot of time at work. You'll spend 12, 14, 16 hours a day at work, and you spend the other 12, 8, 10 at home. So there's two families. The things you're talking about, I've been in this job for 25 years. A lot of those things did happen. There's a filter. Times have changed. We aren't trusted as we once were. We wear body cameras now. We have to record our contacts now. So things like that are changing. I think that Shelisa and I are examples. We went to a school and watched today to talk to the children. That's what's important, making relationships, contacts in the community. So we're trying to change that. My daughter that called in is a criminal justice major. She's reluctant to get into law enforcement specifically. I'm trying to push her in that. I think that it's beneficial. It will help us all. But people have to see it on their own.
There are positive, police officers or sheriffs that are making a difference, but they don't seem to, show that on the news because
when the good people
those
sell.
things don't sell, on the news. But what's wrong is wrong. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, but once you make a mistake, you have to own up to it.
Right.
But for us, I think we've always been very fair and firm with the people that we come into contact with. So much so that because I work in custody, I may see someone that, I may have had to discipline, like written them up or whatever. And now that they're out, I may see them, in the city, and they approach me, and they're very friendly, and they talk to me. Yes, and it's all about how you treat people. I treat people how I want to be treated. I don't disrespect them. So I think for me, I'm very fair but firm with them, and I haven't gotten any backlash with any of the people that I've arrested. Have seen, after the fact. Actually, some people have actually thanked me for
Shelisa,
that.
do people tend to take you seriously when I say that? Because first of all, you're a very physically attractive woman, and so and I'm even saying that because you get it. People tend to look at your physical appearance and go, "She's a girl."
Come on,
you're
little
very
lady,
feminine,
you're not really
right?
trying to.
So do you have to go extra hard just because of that, or do you find that you have to prove anything differently?
Actually, no, it's the opposite. I tend to get a little bit more respect. Well, one, they're trying to get my number.
right.
Oh my!
Like you're a criminal. Sure. Here you go.
Is this for real? Is this real? Is this
I'm like,
a
really?
grandma?
Who wants to be aggressive, towards someone who's being, very pleasant to them?
Right.
So,
which is hilarious.
But I think
they wouldn't even think they have a
women in law
chance.
enforcement are smart or smarter than men. Men want to be masculine and
they
fight.
want to be brutes and
Women are
kind of
smart.
show it. But I'm not. I know my limitations. I'm not gonna box some guy on patrol just to show how badass I am. That's not what I do. They give us tools.
She tries that
they,
at home.
They,
Dave.
they give us training. It works at home,
It
but not on
leads
the
to
street.
it leads to the after barbecue actions.
That's what he meant when he said smash. See, Rocky, it's okay.
But no, if I do have to like repeat myself, I explain to people who are a little bit larger than me, maybe the men. I let them know we're not gonna box. I'm gonna call my friends and I'm gonna use my tools on my belt. So it would behoove you just to listen to me.
Do you
turn
use
around.
behoove? Do they understand that?
Yes, they.
Okay.
Well, maybe I don't know.
She has a potty mouth. She does have a potty mouth.
But I tell them it would behoove you to just turn around and let me handcuff you, and everything will work out right. And they go
usually
along
do.
with it. Yes, they usually do.
So
Okay.
clearly, here's what we've learned so
Good.
far. And if for those who are watching, we're here with Derek and Shelisa Williams. They're a married couple. They've been married for 25 years. They both are in law enforcement, and they are in the same house with the same set of tools on their belt. And when they came in here, what we realized is that there's a lot of competition between these two. Who's the better? Who's the better shot?
Me?
I don't know how you can say that. She qualifies once a month. I was on the SWAT
When's the
team.
last time you've been to the range?
We qualify monthly.
Have you ever shot side by side against the target?
I am a firearms instructor.
What does that mean? What does that mean? She teaches kids in
I
the
have
academy.
skills.
I
That doesn't
am
mean
a
anything.
firearms instructor.
Well,
Well, I'm gonna say this. she talked about the other night she had a little qualifying thing, and I had an
did
issue.
great.
I had an issue. I had to do this. I dropped that.
I don't talk like that, first of all. And no, I did not have an issue. And truth be told, he will not meet me on the shooting range, which I have access to, but he seems to be busy on those days that we're available. Imagine that.
Imagine that we actually want to. We would like to throw the gauntlet down here on the Marla and Dave show, and we would like to video, because this is what we do. By the way, this is going to go down in the epic challenges, because I will also remind our viewers, I happened to be visiting with at Shamar Moore's house for the fight, and he jumped up and challenged a 22-year-old actual college track star to a mile race that I'm going to be filming, and he'll be on the show to talk about that race.
Was he drinking?
He must have been.
Oh.
Yeah, but his smack talk is epic. Okay. It is online. But the bottom line is, forget about that. This is now taking precedence.
Yes.
Well,
I like the
don't have to
video.
talk stuff. Oh, that's no problem. That's no problem.
I just want to see the target sheet.
Okay,
We want to see you shooting, and we want to see who actually hits the target. What are we going for here? What's the goal? Is it the center mass?
Center mass. But Derek was on SWAT like 20 years ago.
Oh, when they were.
Is that like riding the bike though? Like,
When they were,
just never lose
you
it.
mean when they were using
Dialed in.
slingshots?
Dialed in.
That case closed.
Well, let me get back, because the question that I wanted to ask is that, do police officers and law enforcement officers, do you talk shop and you see stuff that's going on around the country? Do you talk about it at work, or do you just come to work and do your job?
All the time. And my people are going crazy across the country. It doesn't make sense. And like I said, I think that we're getting smarter and smarter. They're bad apples. Some of the people in the East, in the Midwest, and the South don't have the training that we have. California is, you guys can all feel happy, one of the best trained, best equipped organizations in the world.
Well, I don't know how much you can speak about this, but my opinion about the Baltimore thing is probably not what most would want to hear. But I really just feel like, as far as the indictments are concerned, I'm going to just say that I have a very hard time when suspected criminal behavior, a perpetrator is apprehended, something happens that you can't prove, and at the same time you're indicting them as murderers. That is a problem for me, because my problem is you weren't in the back of the van, and what we do know is, until the last stop, that dude was alive. Now, and you were apprehended. So your goal at that point is before anything is proven. Unlike, and I'll say this before you start stoning me and sending Jesse
Marla's
Jackson
a lawyer
to my
today.
house. And much like the difference between the man who we saw ran away from the police and was shot 4 times in the back, you're whack.
Clearly in the wrong.
But the dude in the back of the van now, and I just think that Baltimore right now is crying for blood, and we're at the tipping point. And so she's just like, the DA comes in and the prosecutor and says, smack all 6 of these cops with something.
Fair is fair, is what you're saying.
Even the amount of time
when we
that
don't
you
like
took to indict them is not okay, because to me the basic line is you're making it more detrimental to the city.
Well, to me the time doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter just as long as you do your job correctly. But I say all the time, it must be difficult to be a police officer or a law enforcement officer of any kind, because nowadays I find young people have no respect.
No.
But you can't shoot them,
almost
Dave.
Like, oh my goodness,
Only with
I
Cameron's
could not
Nerf
carry
gun.
a gun. And like, are you talking to me?
We get paid to show restraint.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely right. You really have to show restraint, because people come from different backgrounds. You have some that are from the Midwest and show respect towards their, elders, and some from
Los Angeles. I saw where you're going with that.
but it is true that it's just a different time, and but like Derek said, we are paid to show restraint, and that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I hear that. It's like I'm paid to travel. Fly on airplanes.
Right. So
You know
stop
what I'm
complaining when your flight got canceled. It's just part of the job.
I hate it.
It's just a part of the job. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back with more conversation with Derek and Shelisa, and we're gonna call your daughter back because I need to find out a little bit more about what happens after you guys had sex and conceived the children.
Actually, I think she tried to call in, so I hope she calls back. Cheyenne, please call back.
We can call her.
Oh, that's
true.
true.
We can call
Yeah,
her. That's
do
the
that.
plan. We're going to call her in our last segment.
All right, we're going to be right back. This is Marla's going to try to put me in the doghouse.
Epic.
Please. It's
Epic.
not going to happen.
It's
I'm just
happening.
warning you now.
Where's Tony? Where's Tony Fontana when I need him?
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
Here's your chance. Better get at it.
All right. Here's why Dave needs to go in the doghouse.
Only got 90 seconds.
Dave came in today, and I drove Dave's car yesterday. The tire was flat. Dave wakes up and says, what are we going to do about the tires? Since you tend to have a connection at the guy, the wholesaler we buy tires from, he always gives you a better deal than he gives me. Can you please
I
call?
wonder why. See her neckline. She's like,
anyway.
It's little old me.
So if that
Now
mattered,
who's going to the doghouse?
If that mattered, then pay $100 more for your tires. Don't worry about how you get it.
I didn't say that it didn't work.
Anyway.
I'm looking now.
You are interrupting my doghouse offense.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is why Dave's going in the doghouse. So I get up. I have to go to train, do my classes. I get ready to walk out. I get on the phone. I call. He gives me the tire information.
Mm-hmm.
I set everything up. Dave calls me back and says, well, did you tell him that we were going to go with option A, not option B? I said, both options are there. Just show up. It's 5 minutes down the street. So just go take care of it. I get a text message while I'm in class, Shelisa, from Dave saying, that's why I asked you to call twice. The tire, I have to, no, wait. That's why I asked you to call twice.
Wait,
I'm
watch
here.
this.
I'm here.
The
They're
tire
gonna have
wasn't
to bring
there.
The tire. I'm have to wait 20 minutes. So what?
Now, I didn't say I would have to wait 20 minutes. I said you said the tire was here. It's not here.
And you know what I did? I sent
Wait a minute. I have the text. It says, who did you talk to?
Because the tire, basically you had to wait for them to bring the tire over.
It has nothing to do with wait.
So
you said
what?
go now. I said, when should I go?
So I sent
Time
4
is of the
bombs.
essence, right, Derek?
This is when emoticons matter. I sent him 4 bombs and 4 guns in an emoticon. And
Which is why Marla's not packing. I'd be
We're
dead.
gonna change that, I think.
The bottom line is, after you get me to do all the legwork for you, even if the tire wasn't there and you had to be slightly inconvenienced, shut the hell up and wait on the tire. Period. That's what we have to do.
Very good.
And again, first of all, shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up and wait on the tire.
Anyway, here's
Get
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
doghouse.
Marla thinks I should be in the doghouse. Marla should be in the doghouse because the information she gave me was incorrect and untimely.
I don't agree with that.
Where do you have to go? When's your next concert? 8 days? You could have sat there for 8 whole days.
That's why
and been
Marla
fine.
really belongs in the doghouse because all the other stuff that has to be done at home that she should be doing, I end up doing anyway.
Are you kidding? Okay, now I'm going to throw the doghouse on top of you.
Okay. We need you guys to vote, weigh in, and we're going to ask Derek and Shelisa to vote as well. So who goes in the doghouse, Marla or me? All right, it's a tie. It's a tie. So right now, until someone else weighs in,
we're both circling the doghouse.
We're both circling the doghouse, but I got my eye on that bone. Anyway, all right, we're going to get back to the show.
What's the action? You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll get mad. Shut up. You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
All right, again, 323-284-7826 is the number to call.
Now, do we want to call your daughter? Is Shay?
I thought it was Cheyenne who called
Cheyenne.
in. Yeah.
Do we want to talk to Cheyenne? So Cheyenne, if you're listening, you can feel free to call us. If we don't hear from you in the next minute, we'll just call you. So as far as you guys and managing when you think about being officers of the law, you think about, like we talked about, the tough thing. What's the toughest thing that you and Derek as a couple have to deal with, period, in life? What do you worry about? When you take your uniforms off and you're not protecting and serving all of us, what is a major concern? What are some of the things that trouble you that you guys would want to fix just in general?
Actually, I worry about my kids. Not dealing with law enforcement just in general, being in the wrong location, with the nature of, everyone carrying a loaded weapon and settling their fights or disputes with those weapons. That's what worries me the most, are just the safety of my kids.
You guys think that your children, and tell everybody how many children do you...
I have a follow-up question to that. Is that because you see so much in your job?
Yes. And so we tell them, okay, don't be a looky-loo. You hit the ground, go behind something that's safe, but don't get caught up and be a looky-loo. So we give them little,
Are their friends
tips,
fearful of the two of you because you are? Or is it the opposite? Do they feel more protected?
The kids?
their friends? Like, in other words, when they were growing up, you have parents that are like, don't do anything with
Don't
those
ask me
girls.
because I'm the mean one. The oldest one had a party and I kicked everybody out. I'm the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy. I pay the bills. Go.
Right. Now, was that before the party was over, or
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just?
It was time. And
Shelisa, were you
she's one of
doing
their friends.
quarters with those kids?
Well,
You see my dilemma.
Yeah, no, I do see. So here's another question. You know how they say about preachers' kids, always the ones that are trying to party the hardest. Is it the same thing for officers' children?
well,
Are they trying to prove to their friends that we can do what we want to?
She was the school resource officer as our youngest one was in high school for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So that was interesting.
That was a hard time to be in class. Huh?
The first week she acted like she didn't know me.
Yeah, I guess
because
so.
it wasn't cool to be the
Daughter
of
right.
the campus cop. But soon they all knew that I was very fair to everyone, and
including her.
Okay. Actually, I have a little story with
Did they
that.
act up? I want to know.
Yeah,
Tell us the story.
They have their homecoming dance or whatever, and the kids are given like wristbands. So if they do the dirty dancing that they do nowadays, they're given an X if they dance,
too provocatively. Yeah.
Yes. So
She got 2 X's, by the way.
It's not true. I had to show them that that I still had a little bit, but But as I'm walking around, I see a group of kids,
right.
and I'm like, oh, who's in the middle? Let me make sure I see. Who do I see? Cheyenne in the middle, breaking it down.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I, being the responsible cop, I take her wristband, I give her an X, and I see that this is her second X. I said, oh wow, if you get one more, you're going to be kicked out of the dance. So I suggest you
keep drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
One more time.
One more
and you'll
time.
be dropping it in the bed. at home.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
did she get the third X?
No, she stayed in. She managed or didn't get caught. I don't know.
Okay. Because I had a teacher whose son was in our class, and every time he would get a spanking, he would get destroyed. I mean, we would get like 5 or 6 hits. The class would go on recess while he got in punishment. I mean, he would get at least 75 hits.
See, that's when we came up. But now these kids, there's this thing called CPS, and they'll tell you,
Right.
you
Well,
can't do that.
Well, Dave is his free time is running out because there's someone in the chat room who says that Dave.
I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah. Dave, it says Dave needs to get in the doghouse.
Oh, very good.
That's why we
Thank
need
you,
more
Nicole.
guys. We need more guys online because the girls
it's
are
not a
kind
male
of stick
thing. You're
together.
out of
It's
line,
fraternal.
bro. It's out of line. You're out of line. But anyway, so as far as the family is concerned, and so we can we get Jarvis? Can you call out or no? We can't call out. So can we
Marla
text?
again is
I'll
over
tell them to text.
saying things that aren't true.
No, well, we can't.
Just
call
like
out.
Dave, hey, go pick up the tire. It's ready.
You-
And I went there and it wasn't there. But I'm in the doghouse. Yeah, you see what
Next
happens,
time,
Jarvis?
why don't you use your cleavage and do the whole thing and
I
order
keep
the
trying.
tire?
I keep
and
trying,
get
but
up
the
there
guys keep
and do all
saying,
of that.
ew.
But
You charge
I
twice
still don't
as
see how
much.
she's responsible for someone else's business to make sure that the
Tire was
tire's
there in the beginning.
and ready. That's she
Okay.
organized.
Let me take this. It's going to be like playing chess because I'm going to back my way into my point. Derek, when you
Why can't you talk straight to
watch this,
Shelisa?
Derek, when you pull somebody
I did
over,
pose
do
that
you give
question,
a
right?
break to a nice looking woman? Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna let you go.
It's hard to give a ticket to someone's nice. So all you listeners out there, when a police officer pulls you over, be apologetic, smile, be nice.
I have
Now,
a
Derek,
great
I
Derek,
personality.
Derek
act like-
avoided that question.
act like
because
Shalisa's
Derek
not here.
Didn't answer that
When
question.
you're looking down into the car like
Did you
so,
hear that?
do you see
Derek
a
skirted
little
that
cleavage
question.
like that?
He skirted
do you
that
say, you
one.
know
Dave,
what?
it's been such a long time since I pulled somebody over.
He's
couldn't-
still.
I mean, back in the day.
Oh,
He's
back
still
in the
skirting
day.
the
Wait,
question.
wait.
Here's a better way to ask you because I don't want to get you in
Dave,
trouble.
what he's saying
Do
is
some of
what
the
I know.
guys that are actually out there pulling people over, writing tickets, do you see that they sometimes do that?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Dave,
Okay, now Shelisa, do you see that happening as well?
Well, women don't try it with me.
I'm saying
But
to some
yes,
of the
but-
other guys.
Yes, I see it a lot, but actually, men do it with me. They don't show me cleavage. They don't show.
No, I'm trying to say, but you're
look, I know you can't really tell what I'm doing here.
Wait.
Hold on.
you caught me off guard because you're the one pulling people over.
Yes,
But she's saying men flirt.
They're
They flirt.
very flirtatious.
Trying
Does
to
that
flirt
make you
and flirt
mad,
their
or
way
does
out of a
that?
ticket.
To me,
No.
does that work?
It does.
No, it doesn't work, and I don't
okay.
get upset by it. I chuckle and I go, "Oh, that's
and
a
you
good
just
one."
keep writing.
But
I've heard
She's
that
mean.
one before. Like so when they ask for my number, I tell them 911.
yeah.
She's the lady officer, little lady officer.
but here's my
And the
point.
reason why I was saying that is because Marla gets pulled over. We're both in the car speeding. The guy's
Yeah,
like,
I was doing felonious speeds.
the guy's like, you know what? Where are you going? You know what? I'm hungry. We just got off the air, or we just got from
We
a
were
award show or
leaving a
something.
party.
We were leaving a party. And have you been drinking? No, we haven't been drinking. But the restaurant that we're trying to go through closes. You know what? It's okay. Now he's looking down. Now I'm sitting on the other side, and I see the light.
David.
See, the light goes from the face, and it goes,
But she
goes
was
straight
nice.
down.
And I always
Yeah.
am. And
Something was nice.
Let me-
She was
okay.
And it was-
nice.
It was like,
this is why
a
you
light
never
goes down,
stop.
and he says, you know what? You look like nice people.
This is why
I'm going to let you go.
Nice
he said you're very
people.
nice. He said I normally never let anyone go because these are felonious speeds. But in reality, he said you're going to
She
PFJ.
was going like 95 miles
I was
an
going
hour.
90.
She was nice.
I shot a
They
gap.
have a lot of discretion. If they have those big boots on and the helmets, you're probably going to get a ticket. If they're regular cops,
They were regular.
Yeah,
or
he was a regular
deputies,
guy, yeah.
They were deputies.
they
But
can
the
let you
key is you're nice.
And that's what I was. And let me just tell you. Let me
But
back.
what was the light doing like this?
David, that's
Check-
your
checking for
imagination.
weapons.
Okay, well, nice, being nice and cute.
It's even better. That's all
even
I'm
better.
saying.
I'm telling you
I
right.
call it the brown nipple discount. She gets it everywhere she goes. She gets free food, free clothes. She doesn't pay tickets.
Okay.
We even get free tires. I'm not mad at it, but hey.
Here's the problem. Yeah, today they did for a BMW. My cost for the tire, brand new tire, was $105. But that's not because
And the last time I bought 2 of those tires, $726.
But here's the
72.
problem.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad.
Here's the issue though. But I spend time. I know the owner. I talk to everyone there for real. I laugh and joke with them because that's my
she's
real
nice.
personality. And what I told Dave is, this told me everything I needed to know. This guy was not flirtatious at all. He pulled up beside me. It's funny, but it's not funny. He pulls up beside me. I did an illegal lane change. I was not wearing my seatbelt. My registration on my car.
Lisa's about to write you a ticket right now.
Well,
Look
no,
at
I
her
didn't
face.
know. I had no seatbelt, and I was talking on my cell phone. 4 infractions, and I was on the phone with him, fussing about the fact that I know this is a while ago. I know I'm gonna. Why haven't you played your registration? Blah blah blah. We were talking about that. I said, because I could feel the guy in my window. He was a motorcycle guy, and I just did like this,
He asked her
You're
for
like,
a
I
and
number.
he
already
did
know.
not. I pulled over. He walked up, and before he could get out of the car, first of all, I put my seatbelt. I tried to put my seatbelt on when I pulled over, and before he could get out of the car to walk up, I had my hand out the window like this with all my documentation, like I effed up. So I had my registration, my driver's license, and my insurance in my thumb, ready for him to. So he says, "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?" And I said, "Well," he said, "Did you have that seatbelt on?" I said, "No, I put it on right now because I didn't want to get into. You were not wearing a seatbelt." He didn't say a word. He was stoic. He says, "Okay." He says, "Did you see the truck that you cut off?" I said, "Oh wow, I didn't even see him. What is that?" So anyway, bottom line is when he went and checked my stuff, he came back and he said, "I'm gonna let you go." And he said, and I said, "Why?" Like I asked him. I said, "Why are you really?" I said, "I'm never
Is
gonna."
it my nipples?
She wanted a compliment.
No.
She was nice.
No, I wanted to know. And what he said, I wanted to know. So, because this is why I asked the question, because he's always accusing differently, and I knew better, because he didn't try to flirt, none of that.
Like
Which
he's
I-
going to say the real reason.
He
He's a
said
man.
you
she
were
was
honest.
nice.
He
Oh.
said you were nice and you were honest. You could have lied. He said everyone else I would have
Absolutely
pulled
right.
over would have lied to me about the seatbelt, because you saw me or you didn't see me. I was always wearing it. You just didn't see it and argue. I said, "No, I put it on right before you walked into the car." He said,
Honesty
and it
goes
was
a long
Christmas.
way.
He
Absolutely
let me
right.
go.
That's true.
So believe what the
I-
officer is telling you. Now he's not your friend Derek Williams. He's Officer Williams, and he's telling you to stop being and be nice.
Okay. I'm going to take the advice.
It's not about your
Again,
sack. It's
you
about
can-
your kindness.
You can find us
Very true.
online on Instagram and Twitter at the M&D Show, on Facebook at the Marla and Dave Show. But right now I have another question for Derek and Shelisa. When you are actually, well, you said that right quick. Something just jumped out at me. You said you haven't pulled anybody over in a long time. So you actually are a sergeant now, or is it even? How does that go?
I I'm in the office.
In office.
Yeah.
You're not actually out there. I'm sorry if that was
First
a
of all,
little-
let me congratulate you because
Yeah.
recently you received an award.
Yeah,
and
I
I don't
that
want
on Facebook. I didn't know how to say it, but
So we can do a cheers for that. And so tell us a little bit about the award that you recently received for your service.
I got promoted. If that's
That's what I thought he was
That would
promoted as
be-
well.
yes.
But that's what I was trying to get
Yeah,
at. You
yes.
got promoted,
Yes.
and I wasn't quite sure what you got promoted to, because Marla
Deputy
spends
chief.
more time. Deputy chief,
Which
nice.
Derek's a little humble with that, which is
So
good.
what is that?
Nice.
So
That
tell
is
me
good.
what that job entails.
I'm not a police officer anymore.
So do you run a department?
Straight admin.
Yes.
Now I was going to ask you, what's
that-
more difficult?
What I'm doing now, I have to deal with City Hall.
Does that give you more patience if your wife wants to do quarters at 11 o'clock in the morning? Are you okay with that now? Are you a little? Can that lose? Can
Or
not
are you
be
actually
irritated?
joining her in the quarters now?
I want to. I really do. But
Can strip beer pong happen now at your house?
according to her, yes, anything goes in my house. I have to shut everything down. What are you worried about?
I'm still young at heart. I can't help it.
Yeah, she's one of the kids.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
But
Well,
yeah,
congratulations on your
thank you.
promotion.
Thank you. I didn't have gray hair before, but
Yeah, no,
I'm great.
I wonder about that. Every time a president gets
Elected, he
into the
comes out
last-
white.
Last of their we got a call on the line.
All right. Hi.
You're on the air.
Hi.
Yay! Okay, so here's the question. First of all, we heard that you took after your mother and you were dropping it like it's hot to the tune of a couple of X's. This is the right daughter, correct?
Is this Shay?
Oh,
that's
that's
Shay.
No, that's Shay.
That's
This is
the
Shay.
oldest one.
This
Oh,
is Shay.
Oh, Shay. Okay, Shay. Right quick.
Hi.
Shay
Hi.
also drops it like it. Like
Yeah.
It's hot.
And Shay, we heard where you were conceived. As a matter of fact, we know how, but we heard where. We apologize for that. Anyway, go ahead
You
with the
said
question.
where?
No, yeah, we know exactly where you were conceived. You can talk to your parents about that on your own time. we asked the questions
I
we
was
wanted
like,
to know.
What?
So Shay, having parents that are both police officers or in law enforcement, what was the best part about that for you, and what was the worst part about that for you? Now, and tell us tell our audience how old you are.
I'm 26 years old. The best part would be if I got pulled over, I would know their friends. Like, they would recognize me because I resemble my mom so much.
Hi,
so
Uncle
they would
Bob.
just let
It's
me go
me.
with no- to be honest. But the worst part was it often backfired. Like, I remember one time I was with my friends and we were out late past curfew and they caught me and they knew me because they recognized me. So
Get your
they
butt
ratted
home.
me out to my mom. So that wasn't cool. But I mean, it hasn't been that bad, honestly. Having parents that are in law enforcement is pretty cool. So.
Well, both of your parents are incredibly attractive, and I happen to know you girls, which you are as well. How is that?
Oh, thank you.
How did that fare for you in dating? Was there ever?
Oh, it's
Your parents are laughing. Their parents are laughing right now.
Especially
so
Derek. He just
Derek
cracked
just
up.
started laughing immediately.
it hasn't been the most successful. I think that's why my mom's laughing so hard. It's been kind of a struggle. I mean, I come across guys that just, I don't know. They're nice, but they just end up not making the cut. Either my dad points out, he's like, I can tell off top that he's just not the one, or he's just
I'm always
he's
right.
extra
I'm always right.
picky.
But that is a dad's job.
Shay, can I give you a suggestion? I suggest that you just bring them home when you're married. Don't just wait.
Shay,
No.
disregard Marla's advice.
Yes.
Do not do that.
This is somebody who's already miserable, like ruining another family. Just get married.
If you want that, if you want that
Surprise.
man
Yeah,
to
right.
live, do not do that.
Yeah, don't do that, Shay.
I definitely won't. Not with my dad. I can't do that.
I could say that to her because I know better than that, so she knows I'm kidding. But anyway, so Shay, thank you for calling us and letting us know what it's like on the inside with these two. Shay, wait a minute.
Yes.
Who's the scariest when it comes to discipline? Your mom or your dad? Who were you afraid of most growing up?
Oh, my mom.
Wow.
She
Wow.
was the worst.
So,
I mean,
so
my
your
dad-
mom partied hard and she
Wait a
fought you hard.
Yeah, I thought she hung out with you and she was like,
then
your-
that means
was
she
your
was
girl.
right
My
there.
dad punished us. Like, he would be like, and this is the reason why. But my mom, she would just be like,
You wore my
irate.
shirt.
Like, there was
Boom.
no talking. There was no explanation. It was just, you know what you did and you're being punished. Like, Yeah, at least my dad would kind of break it down and be like, "This is why I have to do this," type of conversation.
All right.
Okay. Well, Shay, thanks for
Thanks for
calling.
calling
and
us.
like Marla said, giving us the inside scoop.
And come back out and play kickball next time. And don't just wait for the cute guy to show up. I know him, I can hook you up. Show up.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye, Shay.
All right, we're going to take a break right here.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave Love Game. Here are Marla and Dave to explain how it works.
All right, forgive me. I'm kind of a little busy getting the game out of the box. But the Mad Love Game was a game created by Marla and me. Or is it Marla
Myself.
and I?
Marla and myself.
Anyway.
Marla and I. I created a game, not me created a game. Marla and I. So when
Created
you say
by
I,
me. You
Yeah,
don't
you-
say
I
created by
created-
I. Created
That's
by
what
me. Thank you. Anyway,
Remove
Marla
Marla.
and me. So anyway, it has 3 categories: finance, communication, and sex. It's played by rolling a single die. And those categories are there, but on the die is also the MaD logo. When you hit the MaD logo,
You choose
it's
a
wild.
category.
You choose whatever you want to. I'm going to pass this down to
And there's lose a
Shelisa,
turn.
Derek, please. And I'm going to have her roll the die.
Sex.
Sex it is.
Of
Wow.
course. She's a hot mama.
She did smash after the barbecue.
Which was not our first date.
Okay, here we go.
She fed him thoroughly.
Here's one of the questions. Outside of the bedroom, Shelisa, what is the next most popular place to have sex?
The barbecue. No, I'm just kidding.
The my kids are probably sitting in the family room, but I'd say the family room.
Oh, Shay, get up, girl.
Disinfect. Anyway, Derek, would you
Why is all
agree?
of our furniture so crunchy?
Dad.
Are these plastic covers?
Derek, what would you say?
The car.
Okay, now these answers, the research for these answers are from the PEW or Pew Research Center, and ding, 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 Derek is correct. The car.
Have you guys ever encountered someone having sex in the back of a vehicle as officers?
Yes, I have.
And what did
Do you let them finish, or do you say
I put the big flashlight on. I have them step out of the car as they
Nude?
are. Yeah, if they're nude, yes, I do. And then
So
I
you
ask
just
her.
want to make him feel bad.
Yeah, and then
This
I
is
ask her how
embarrassing.
old she is, and then I tell her I'm thinking about calling her parents.
Wow. Wow. I would be afraid to be pulled
I'm a
over by
mom
you.
/ cop.
All right, so
No, okay.
Each-
thank God we do not live in San Bernardino.
each card has another section, another question for further discussion, which is what makes it fun to play with your friends. And the further discussion question for this one is, what is the most bizarre place you've ever had sex? Outside of the barbecue.
Or the closet floor.
Or the family room.
We tried to join the Mile High Club.
You got stuck? You
we
had too much
tried.
muscle?
I'm a big man.
20
It's
pounds.
hard.
20 pounds of muscle.
It's hard.
If you-
Did you
now you
actually,
wanna be-
did both of you actually get in the bathroom
Yeah,
at
we
the same
did.
time?
Yes,
But she's like,
and
hurry up, hurry up.
Derek got nervous.
I wasn't nervous. It's like, hurry up, hurry up.
And then you had
Derek
a turbulent.
was nervous.
I need a little
you
foreplay.
thought it was
I
an
needed
orgasm.
a little foreplay. I just need
That's
a little
how it went
foreplay.
down, huh?
You know what? I
What happened to you? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. What happened to that?
Man, this is too much pressure.
Pow, 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 pow,
What happened to that?
That's
we,
a fire right
we
there.
have time for one more question. Derek, we're going to let you roll.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Lose a turn. It's back to Shelisa.
Oh, back to me.
Back to Derek.
You. It's MaD logo. You can
Wow.
choose sex, communication, or finance.
Finance.
Finance. Okay. We don't usually get
Girl,
many
when
of
you're
those.
shopping, hook me up. 8.5. Some Louboutins. I need them.
What is the percentage of couples who sign a prenuptial agreement before they get married? Is it either 5 to 10%, 20 to 30%, or 40 to 50%?
20 to 30.
Shelisa, what
5
do
to
you say?
10.
5 to 10. Ding, ding, ding. Shelisa gets this one. Studies show only 5 to 10% of couples sign prenups. Now, here's the further discussion question for this one. Is being asked to sign a prenup insulting?
Yes.
For either one. I mean, sometimes
It's not
the
insulting,
woman
but
might
I
be
think that
bald.
it really would denote it. I don't know. I have to say, when I was young, I would say yes, because you start both. Everybody has nothing.
Absolutely right. You have
but if you
nothing
have
when you're
something
young.
that you've earned,
But
I don't think it's
what
fair.
if the woman had all the money? Would
Doesn't
you still
matter,
feel that?
man or woman, whoever is holding. To me, because there are people who make a career out of gold digging, so to say. So I think that to me,
True.
the only way to know that something is equal.
So you agree with Marla that it would be insulting?
No.
And what I'm saying is that if you're young, you both really
You're
don't
starting
have
together.
anything.
So prenup, what, they
but-
sandwich?
And it's
Exactly.
funny.
You don't
we-
have
And if you're
anything.
going to sign a prenup, somebody has something.
That's the point.
Exactly. You're protecting what you
Right.
have.
Yeah, so if you're protecting maybe some heirloom that you have that's
Property.
dear to your heart.
Property. If I had a house before we
yes.
got married, before I smashed, I had a house.
But Derek
Would you
had
have
nothing.
signed-
He had
No, I'm
nothing.
saying if.
But he had nothing.
But you know what I did? You know what I did say?
he had nothing.
You have your own checkbook. I have my own checkbook.
And that's
Wait,
how
so
we're just
we
learning.
we have an
we
old
just,
school- we have
we
an
just
old school
learned
prenup.
that recently.
Yeah.
It's funny how we both all still spend my money.
Exactly.
Her money is always her money, but the
Well,
everything-
first of all,
money's
my
Does she
mine,
money
say
is
this?
less.
Does she say this? Float me alone.
no, she
What
just
does that
takes
mean?
it. She takes the loan.
Okay.
Anyway, so first of all, we want to thank you guys for playing the Mad Love game.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's get to our poll question.
Absolutely.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
It's time for this week's poll question. The poll question that has been up all week was, what makes more sense, gender equality or equal rights for men and women? What makes more sense? Saying it this way, gender equality or equal rights for men and women? Your options were hashtag gender equality or hashtag equal rights. Equal rights won.
I have to agree.
100%.
So let's get to this week's poll question, which is going to be interesting because I would like for you to just weigh in briefly on this. When your grown kids come home after college, should they be required to pay rent? Yes, hashtag pay to stay. No, hashtag parents pay. Do
Or
you charge
hashtag get the
hell out?
Yes.
Hashtag we don't live here anymore. What do you think? When your kids come home?
No, I would not charge my child who's in college and succeeding in college.
They'll come
She
home
said
when they're
after
done.
they
Rent.
graduate.
After.
When they're
After
done.
they graduate, like, do they have a job yet?
Yeah, well,
Regardless.
it doesn't matter. Like
No.
no, get a job. But the bottom line is, even if it's not a career, coming home is their responsibility that they should have financially to contribute to your household as young adults.
No.
Do you
I
do that,
say no.
Shelisa? Do you do their laundry?
No,
Do
I
you
do
cook
not.
for your children?
Yes.
I cook
Yes.
for my children.
And it,
I'm
Well,
the old
because
gray
it's-
mule. They use the hell out
okay,
of me.
stop, Shelisa. Can I just say
Thank
something
you.
now? Here's
It's
where we might have to
easier.
separate mother to mother.
It's
Touch my hand,
easier.
sweetie.
Yes.
We're soulmates in
Yes, we
likeness
are.
with energy and all that.
But not in that.
You have to train them to be the type of woman that you are.
Yes.
No, not cooking for them.
No, but Shay actually cooks. Shay's a very good cook. I bring them in.
She
I
should be
show
cooking
them.
for you.
She does on occasion, but
All
on
the
the
time.
weekends when I cook for
Because
this
you gave
young
birth
man,
to them.
That's true.
And you've got done
Okay,
put in
Shelisa,
26
you
years.
can speak for
Yes.
yourself. You
No,
have
but
the
yes.
gun. You don't have to agree with me.
I know, but
Shoot my wife.
but in that aspect, I think because I'm already cooking for him, I throw a little extra
It's
egg
not for me.
in,
It's for them.
and the extra bacon.
You just come in and you
Well, I
can
know one thing that's not for them, Derek.
What?
You know what happens in the family room. We talked about that.
and
That's
Rock
not for the
said,
kids.
And Rock said ill. Anyway, the poll question can be found right there on our website, www.marlandave.com.
And Rock also told me that I have to taste your yams. So here's the thing.
Yes, I do make.
We
really
got to
good
get the
yams.
yams.
Yes, I make
And we have to do the tennis. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Can you handle the truth? This is modern American dialogue in a mad world from two unique, fresh, transparent perspectives. This is the Marla and Dave radio show.
And by the way, as a teacher, Rock did say that it was Marla and me. Thank you very much, everyone. Marla and me.
So this has been fun. We've come to the end of our time together. It always goes by so fast.
It does.
It does.
It really
And no
does.
one had to pull the weapon, nothing. Everybody's okay.
today.
Can't
you
shoot
guys-
anyway. You'd have been safe.
Do you guys
Stand right in front of her.
Do you
Save
guys
her, please.
are your in your house? Are your handcuffs an occupational hazard?
Well,
Okay.
you know.
So moving on.
Or do they stay in the bedroom?
They stay in the family room.
Clearly, we have them in every room.
So we're looking forward to two things. On a serious note, you just tell me when. I would like to record a shoot off between the two of you.
Okay.
We just want to know who's the better marksman is what this is about.
Who do you guys? Who's the money on? You have to bet.
My
Who's the
money's
money
on Shelisa for
Well,
sure.
I'm gonna
She's
ask,
too
first of
calm.
all,
She-
what's your
she
weapon of
teaches.
choice?
I carry Glock 45.
An HK 45.
Okay, both 45s though. Okay, so
She got little hands.
That's
weak
gonna be
trigger
gonna be
fingers.
close because
I also carry a 357. What do you carry off duty? Oh, that'd be nothing.
These.
well, you know what? I actually shoot a 45 better than say a 9mm for
Yes,
some
so
reason.
do
I
I.
don't know why.
Because
It's
it's
just
the
the weight?
handle. Yes, it's the weight of it. Would you know that, huh, Mr. SWAT man?
Are we putting something on it?
Ooh,
Oh, we can put
I
something
like
on
it.
What?
Maestros or Nobus.
Which one is it? Make it clear.
Either one.
Nope.
I'm good.
Make it clear.
I like butter cake. That's
So
my
we,
vote.
we say Mastros. We'll toss in for that.
All right. That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's Mastros with the
So
shoot off.
are you going with Derek?
Oh yeah, I got my money on
Okay,
Derek.
so then you'll help Derek pay, and then Shelisa and I will pay. We'll double date it.
Exactly.
So
That's cool with me.
That's
Work
a done
overtime,
deal.
dear.
because it's pretty expensive.
Dave
And I
doesn't
do
eat
love
meat,
butter cake.
So you are. We'll only be paying half the bill. Dave's vegetarian.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So no steaks for Dave.
I'm
Only
eating steak.
sides.
I'm eating steak that night.
So also I want to invite you out to come and play tennis. We might have
That'd
to get
be
a little
great.
bit of that. I have to, I can't. Shelisa, don't make me take you down. Don't make me take you down.
It'll be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
It'll be a lot of fun. I love it. That's my favorite sport. So Derek, feel free to try some doubles.
All right. I'm good.
His voice went.
Exactly.
I was thinking country club. Dave and I play golf. You guys do
That
your
would be
tennis
nice
thing?
That
too.
would be cool.
That would be
You know,
nice too.
It's because Derek's afraid. He's afraid.
She said
He's
doubles.
afraid
She
on
was
the
talking-
range. He's afraid on the tennis court.
Wow. So we end this with the,
Yeah,
with the
that's pretty
throwdown
tough.
challenge.
I see you're pretty tough there, Shelisa.
Yes, I
I
am.
like it.
You heard her, kids. How crazy is that she didn't even explain before she just beat him? It's like, is that my shoe? What? Derek's like, no, honey,
or
you
more
can't
like, wow,
wear
is
your
that
mom's
my
stuff. Right. So anyway, we want to welcome. We're going to have again. We pitched in the beginning of the show. Next week, please join us right here at the same time. 6:00 is MaD Monday every Monday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll have Lexi in the studio. She comes home
Drew.
tomorrow.
You can't call her
Oh, that's
Lexi
right.
anymore,
She's
yeah.
Drew post grad. Whatever. She's whatever I call her. So we'll have Lexi, Drew, Lexi, Alexis, DT, Dat in the studio with us next week Monday. And if you're a parent, don't forget to tune in. We're going to talk about and weigh in on the expense of college. Is an expensive college education really worth it? The pros and the cons
really
right
good question.
here next week. And do you need to kill yourself sending your child to an Ivy League school? Does the education really match the financial discomfort or investment?
That's a good question.
That's what we're going to talk about, and we'll hear her experiences. And, all I know is there was a hell of a lot of red cups in the parking lot of her apartment when I pulled up. Now, true enough, she graduated with honors, so she managed it. But there
A lot of glass on the parking lot.
Syracuse was the #1 party school, so what did I pay for? A keg of beer? And a degree? And a hat and a tassel?
That's why Cheyenne's in North Dakota.
There you go. You see?
I hate to tell you, Derek, they have beer in North Dakota. They have beer in the Midwest.
And then they cow tip. Easy.
That's true.
Very true.
But anyway, so that's our show for today. Thank you. I'm glad that we're back live. We hope that you enjoyed the 2 shows that we replayed last week. We had a replay of Dawn Arsenault, who dealt with mental illness and her journey, her testimony, which was powerful. And the week before, our friend who's a sergeant in the Baltimore Police Department came in, and we replayed his show, which was also how time appropriate. So that's it for today. We'll see you back here.
Again,
right
we want to
here.
thank Derek and Shelisa.
For stopping
We
by
had
the
fun.
MaD
It
House.
was fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
And we have more to come with
We
their
hope we didn't
challenges.
leave you too scarred.
No, we're okay.
Your kids are scarred, but thanks a lot. See you next week.
It's a mad world, and we're here to talk about it. Bye, guys.